Nancy, what's up?
Oh, thanks for taking my call. I'm going to share with you a part of a letter to the editor that I wrote to the Chicago Tribune. I don't know if they'll print it. It's called Secure Elections Act Blocked by White House. And what I wrote was, I'll read just some of it. I won't read the whole thing.
Yeah, I'd like to, Nancy, if you don't mind, I just generally discourage people from trying to read on the air. If you're not a professional news reader, it just puts people to sleep. Can you just summarize it in your own words? Tell us what it's about.
It's a frightening development of this election season that the White House dictated to Congress recently, a co-equal branch of government under the Constitution, which law to allowed to pass to protect our democracy. This law is the Secure Elections Act that was introduced in December 2017 by a partisan bill, and it was going to be voted on in October. But recently, the White House put a kibosh on it.
Oh, yeah.
Stop to it. Yeah. And it is what it calls for is paper ballots and
audit trails,
voter machines, all electric models, paper record of votes instead of the all electric machines that do not have a paper trail.
Right.
And the
question we have to ask ourselves, and by the way, Greg Pallas is going to be on the program in the, let's see, in the next hour, at the top of the next hour, in about 15 minutes. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, why does the Republican Party embrace insecure electronic voting machines? Why do they want us to continue having systems that are easily hacked, whether it's by Republicans or by, Donald Trump's 400-pound guy on his bed, in wherever it was, Missouri or something?
Could this not be to protect Congress from going Democratic in the upcoming election?
I think so.
I mean, to have it put a block on this vote that was going to take place before the election?
I think so. Republicans are doing everything they can to suppress the vote. They absolutely are, Nancy. And in fact, down in Texas, there's I started talking about this before. I'll get into it right now. This woman, Crystal Mason, she'd gone to jail a few years ago, and she didn't realize that in Texas, if you go to jail, you lose your right to vote. And so she's the 43-year-old mother of three. She's African American. She showed up to vote, to do her civic duty. She thought, okay, I'm back in the community. I've got a job. I'm putting my life back together. I should go vote. It's my civic duty. She went and voted in the 2016 election, and she has been sentenced to 5 years in prison for voting while a felon. And in fact, 3 months after Trump's victory, this is from The Guardian, Ed Pilkington, U.S. voter suppression, why this Texas woman is facing 5 years in prison. It says, when Kristen Mason, well, I need not read you the whole thing, but 3 months after Trump's victory, she was called to a Fort Worth courthouse, placed in handcuffs, and held overnight in jail. She spent the whole night praying, Lord, how did I get here? And it turns out she got there because she voted illegally. And and by the way, she's in Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas, the percentage of people who show up to vote is 6%. The voter turnout, 6%. And for 18 to 34-year-olds in Fort Worth, Texas, it's 1.5% of all eligible voters show up to vote. And part of that might be because in Fort Worth, Texas, if you're the wrong color and you're an ex-prisoner and you try to vote, they put you in jail, which is very intimidating. And I mean, the Republicans just basically don't want people to vote. This is nothing new. It shouldn't be a surprise. This is what's his name? Paul Weyrich. Here it is right here. This Paul Weyrich. Open me up, Sean, on the 360.
Now, many of our Christians have what I call the goo-goo syndrome. Good government. They want everybody to vote. I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
This was one of the guys who co-founded the Heritage Foundation and was helping run the Reagan campaign. That was in 1980, and they've been doing this ever since. And Democrats need to start taking this stuff seriously. Nancy, thank you for the call, and thank you for your passion and for contacting your newspaper. That's a marvelous thing to be doing.